Hey, guess what?
What?
I have a very special treat today.
Mm-hmm.
We did a stellar review and raved about Primitive War last week. It opened in theaters in limited release from Fathom Events. Everyone that has seen it, we've been getting messages on the Film Thread channel from people who, based on our recommendation, knowing nothing, went to go see Primitive War and were blown away. Everyone I know is saying it's better than Jurassic World Rebirth. Well, guess what? We have the director here today to talk to us about his movie, director Luke Sparke. Let's bring him on. We're going to show some videos too. It's got videos to share. Let's look at them. Hey, Luke. Good to see you here. Oh, man. So great to talk to you. I know I spoke to you at the premiere. It's so great to talk to a director at the premiere where the movie's actually good. The movie's really good and lives up.
That's the dream, right? That's what you hope.
Love it. But look, I've been singing the praises of the film. I know that Gary at Neurotic saw it. Drinker saw it. They've all liked it. Now there was I'm going to have a lot of questions and then we'll go to questions from our audience. The budget for this is reported to be $7 million. Accurate? Close?
Yeah, I don't know whether, look, I didn't put it up on the internet. Look, I would say it's close.
It's close. So let's not play Price is Right, higher or lower. I don't care. It's under 100 million. It's under how you pull this off for under for an amount that's like a Godzilla -1 is insane. How did this project come together?
Yeah, even Godzilla -1 I think had a reported of like 20 million US. And 65 with Adam Driver, another dinosaur movie. I think that was like 70 US. So yeah, we're way under all those guys. How did it come about? Look, I'm a big nerd. I told you that when I saw you in person. I watch your channel all the time. I watch lots of different channels across the internet whenever I can about films because I just love them so much. And I grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and I feel like this movie sort of harkens back to that era a little bit, and it was done on purpose. How this came about is because I'm a dinosaur lover. I wanted to find another project, and I just happened to come across, just literally scrolling through social media, a comic book cover from Primitive War comic that the author was doing of a Utah raptor jumping at a soldier in Vietnam, and I was like, the little kid inside me who played with G.I. Joes and action figures and all that kind of stuff growing up with Jurassic Park, just because of what is this, and I have to find out more about it. I bought the book, I read it, I could really see the through line of how I could adapt it. Obviously, book adaptations are hard because it's like 2-hour movie versus 400 pages. I just went for it, wrote to the author, and we just made it happen. But I shopped it around Hollywood, as you always do. This is my seventh film, and I shopped around. And the feedback was, literally like, you can't do this. You're not Steven Spielberg. Why bother? And I came back from LA last year from another premiere, a movie I made with Sam Neill, actually, from Jurassic. And I just said, look, let's just do it ourselves. Let's just do it. And we did.
Hey, for people that haven't seen the trailer, let's share that with them right now.
Sure.
Here we go.
I heard you got to. Nice work, Baker. You gotta be a lunatic if you're gonna be a vulture. Let's see what you guys think of this next mission.
3 days ago, I lost my Green Berets. We're gonna drop you in right here, in that valley.
We got our job. Find those Green Berets.
One female Russian survivor. If we insert women attacked by all kinds of prehistoric beasts, we need an emergency extract from the zoo.
And that's not an option!
You had to take
fight dinosaurs. I'm gonna go find them, dead or alive.
We must survive an hour. Your mission die.
Better get fueled up and get ready.
We're doing what you want. We're probably all gonna die screaming because of it. We talk about that screaming and dying bit.
So let me guess. Half your budget was the music.
Yeah. How'd you score all those? Like, get the score?
Well,
the music?
yeah. I mean, you just have to. Right, you always shoot your shot. All they can say is no. That's my attitude going into these things. I cut that trailer myself, and I put the music in, and we pitched it to John Fogerty's people, and we're lucky enough to get it on our budget. Wow. a little bit over what we were hoping for, but I think that really worked, and we all backed it. So yeah,
the music really does contribute to the setting of the movie. I mean, it really does. It's so, like, even the first 20 minutes, it's a war film. It's just straight up war film. So I'm sitting there watching. I'm like, look at these helicopters and this. And there's a whole base. It's not. I'm looking, and I don't know if it was a mix of volume or set or a location. I don't know how you pulled. We're gonna watch a little behind the scenes in a second. But how did you make it? And location is a big part of production value. Let's talk about that, and then effects and how you compete with a Jurassic World type movie.
Yeah. Well, I went into it really wanting to limit green screens. I didn't use a volume at all, so we limited the green screens. So a lot of it, 95% is shot on location. And because I knew we're going to be up against it with the effects, I wanted our artists to really be able to go off something real. And because we're a very small indie and really tight knit team, we're able to travel really light and work together. So all the locations, from the army base to the rivers to everything, was all location. And then at least then our guys had reference lighting and everything else to go off and make them look as real as they could within the scene, rather than trying to do it all on a stage and come off with mixed results. So that was important for me. And then what was your next question?
No, just also just the production value.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I have to ask you
the dinosaur CG effects.
Yeah.
Like,
I just want to, before you get into that.
-1.
Yeah, I just say, before you get into that, is working with helicopters like that as complicated as I think it is, or was that fairly easy?
No, it's complicated. It's before I became a director, my background is working on military type shows. Our family business in Australia sort of grew from a military props collection to being on set with big films like The Pacific from HBO and Wolverine and that. So I've always been around the industry. I've always wanted to be a director, but everyone has their own journey, and that was my journey to get in, which is another reason when I picked up this show, I knew we could, at least I had an idea of how I could achieve the production values, because it's what we do, how I've grown up. So all those props and sets and tents and that's all from our own collection. So that was a big feather in the cap to at least have a base to build on from there. So that was how we sort of achieved that production design value, and also bringing in military advisors I've worked with on Saving Private Ryan, The Pacific, and have them on set every day was another feather in the cap. I could sort of pull on that thread and make that happen.
Now, I want to show this video of the behind the scenes, and then we have a ton of questions from our audience, which we'll get to. But the CG effects, the dinosaurs. Okay.
Sure.
We saw what they did with Godzilla -1, how cheap that movie was, and then how well it did at the box office. It can be done. The thing that you have in common with that movie, Godzilla -1, is you were directly involved with the effects. You were, I mean, when I go see a Marvel movie or these big Hollywood effects movies, I feel like you should download a PDF of the credits. They're so long, blocks, thousands of people. Now you had a lot of people work on this movie, but a lot of those people were you. When I saw the credits, but like to be fair, like how did you pull off? Is it your direct involvement? Like what was it? And was that a dinosaur that walked behind
I mean,
you?
look, it's not some secret formula. It can be done. It's just a lot of hard work. There's no button I pressed that made all this happen. It's really just pounding the pavement and really having the vision in my head and knowing how it could turn out. I mean, it's kind of like asking me how I breathe. It's kind of like ineffable. It's just what I did on this movie. But for me, I'm not saying I'm an amazing visual effects artist. I dabble, but for me, it was more the producing part of it. And I went out as a supervisor and as a producer and just basically built an entire visual effects team from scratch. And a lot of it was just because a lot of artists wanted to work on an indie film that wanted to make cool dinosaurs. That's how it started. I had guys who worked on one of the Jurassics, worked on one of the Godzillas, who did the models and did the lighting and who did the animation. And from those sort of key 5 or 6 people, then they snowballed to be like, hey, I know a guy that does this, and I know a guy that this. And suddenly we had like 160 team members, which I had to sort of supervise 365 days, 7 days a week since like last April. And they're just passionate about making it. So it can be done. And for me, it just cut that middleman out. And they liked that too. They said they worked on the big houses like ILM. And to talk to the director, it's like 20 different people up the chain. And then the feedback comes back down the chain, blah, blah, blah. I had direct contact with them every day because it was the vision in my head. I previewed it. I could just approve it or not approve it or give them notes, and they really liked that sort of, that indie feel working together. So it was a really good team, and props to them because, they really blew it out of the park. I hate using that pun, but they did. They really strived to make this as good as we can, and just with a little bit more, we could have. We don't have render farms like Weta. We don't have the render farm, so all that was just a nightmare to try to work out how we're going to not just make them but render them, because there was like 1,500 shots on an indie film, and halfway through the production I was like, oh my god, I've bitten off way more than I can chew. But we all banded together and made it happen.
Well, I'll say that Hollywood seems to always be bogged down with layers of approval. There's a lot of that. Let's look at the BTS that you sent me a link here. I've not seen this. It's first look behind the scenes. Let's watch this.
Yeah, here we go. Set. And 3, 2, 1, action!
This is behind the scenes of Primitive War.
Primitive War is an awesome story. It's set in the 1960s in an alternate reality where a group of special forces sent into the jungles of Vietnam during the Vietnam War.
Primitive War is based off of a book. It's this really epic tale of Vietnam 1968.
These guys, the Vulture Squad, are sent out to find some Green Berets.
And what they end up discovering is sort of far more catastrophic and potentially apocalyptic than the Green Berets themselves.
They come across dinosaurs, to put it very plain and simple.
And I was immediately grabbed by the cover artwork of a soldier in Vietnam fighting a Utah raptor.
It's a bananas concept that is so much better than it has any business being.
I found filming pretty damn amazing.
Oh, filming has been incredible. It's one of the best experiences I've had as an actor on set.
Yeah, it's a very interesting project and something that's very exciting to work on as an actor.
And I really think that the universe provided us an amazing cast for this movie.
As bloody and as gory as this movie has been, it's been a wonderful sense of camaraderie.
It's been a really, really fun experience and something that I take very, very seriously to make sure that I'm giving the audience what they want.
Dinosaurs everywhere!
Yeah, wild. Wild, wild, wild.
Soldiers in Vietnam.
I gotta ask, where did you shoot?
We shot this in Australia. I'm an Australian, so we shot this on the Gold Coast near Brisbane in the hinterland there, and provided a pretty good double as Vietnam. And I've filmed there many times in many different movies throughout my career. So I sort of had an idea when I was writing the script. I'm like, we could go to that lot for that scene and go to this lot. So I have it on my head when I'm sort of packaging this together.
Let's finish watching.
Encountering dinosaurs. That hasn't really been done.
There's guts, blood, dinosaurs.
But with a lot of heart about people, coming to their primal instincts to survive.
It's a war film meets dinosaur film meets action film. It's all the best genres that we could ask for.
Prepare yourselves, it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be a great film.
Damn.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we released that last year when we were starting to build up the awareness of it. Yeah,
I got to ask you, your relationship with how did the Fathom Events get involved? Did they come to you? Did you go to them?
So I kept pitching this movie all the way up until earlier this year, and people were just like, I don't know if it's going to work. Like, I think Hollywood had no idea how to take this movie. It didn't fit in any box. So when I just decided to say, screw it, and let's release our teaser trailer online. And it got like 1 million views in 24 hours and continued to keep getting views. Then there was some interest, still not much. And Fathom came to me, and they were really excited. They're a great bunch of guys over there, very, very excited about it. And at the time, that's kind of like what I had on offer to get it out there. Since coming out, lots of offers. Lots of people now interested in sequels and spin-offs, and I've had meetings with comic book people and everything else. So, yeah, it's very, very interesting.
Are you going to make a movie for a major studio now? Because what you could do with very little money, I mean, are you talking?
I'm talking. I'm still in LA since meeting you. I've had meetings back to back with lots of studios around town. Obviously, I can't say too much. But yeah, I mean, look, that would be good. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I'd like to experience it. I'd like to go and do one and see how it all operates and what it means for my control and everything else. So who knows? I guess I'll say who knows. Sorry to interrupt, but the funny part is every meeting I've had around town, everyone's like, man, this industry is so on the rocks and it's so hard. You should just do what you do. Continue making independent films. You're doing the George Lucas thing. You should just do it. I'm like, well, I'm coming to you guys to say, let's make movies. And you're saying it's a very weird time, very weird marketplace.
Yeah, that's weird.
Not surprising to hear that.
Yeah. Just, but I'd like to see what you could do with, actual budget. You could do with nothing. When you could do that, that really shows something. But also, no matter, if you get big, all this with the studios, you still have to come back here.
Of course.
Film Thread and
I'm always going to be watching Film Thread. I'm always going to be watching Film Thread.
That's great. Well, we have a lot of people watching now. Let's go to questions right here.
All right. From Zodlander for 50 Swedish krona. Is Primitive War available somewhere in Sweden? I want to watch it, but where?
That's the question that we keep getting every day from people. It's like the feedback from the fans has been like amazing, and I kind of I hope for the best, but it's been really, really good, and thank you to you guys for really helping as well. So to answer that question from Zodlander, yes, I'm literally, again, I pitched it out to people. I wanted to go worldwide straight away. It's been my 6th film. I'm very careful with releasing this film because I have been screwed in the past by many different sales agents on my other films where they just the film just disappears. You never see a cent from it, and it's just been very, very difficult to make movies these days because there's also that problem. So this movie I sort of held on to the very last minute to be like, look, it's working. We've got something. So before I leave LA, yes, I'm signing an international deal that we can get this film out worldwide ASAP.
Wow. Congrats. Daniel Thorne. Love Primitive War. It was much better than Jurassic Rebirth. A dino's death. No one had plot armor. It was great.
Yes, thank you. I could probably make we joked that we could make a TV spot instead of having all different critics quotes. We could just leave the quote saying "better than Jurassic Rebirth" and change the critics quotes because everyone's saying the same.
Everyone said that.
So thank you. We need a.
Yeah, Will Martinez, we need a sequel to Primitive War. Please make it so.
Well, there's 4 books in the series, and I would love to make a sequel. My biggest thing was like to see how big it goes in cinemas, and that being limited, difficult. But I think it's a great launching pad now for the digital release that will be coming up soon. And if that goes well, then I've already had people yesterday literally said, "Let's do it. Let's work together on the sequel." So I want to do it.
All right, Jimmy Francis. Looking forward to seeing it. Curious about how many shooting days you managed to get, as well as how many extras.
So, I mean, to give context, right? And you guys probably know this: the big movies, they take 6 months. You know, when I worked on Wolverine with Hugh Jackman, like we were there for like months and months and months. I shot this entire movie in 25 days.
Insane.
It's insane. Like, for people in the know, that's insane for the size of the scope of this movie. And that was just, again, having the vision, having the really scheduled lockdown, and just really having it dialed in with the cast. Because I said to him, look, I'm wearing 9 different hats. I'm the production designer. I'm the visual effects guys. I'm editing. Let's work together early on. Let's get the characters dialed in. I'll give you guys a long leash, and I'll come in when I need to, but I'll be looking at everything else in this movie. So props to everyone on that. So 25 days. And all the extras, I think what the biggest day we had was like 100 extras.
Wow. Christopher Moonlight Productions. Of course, this interview would start when I get on the road. Please ask Mr. Sparke about how indie filmmakers should think about creating great effects on a budget.
Look, again, there's no special formula. I would suggest trying to cut out the middleman. I tried to do the right way. Early on in my career, you go to a post house, you get a visual effects company, and obviously I have no qualms about how they operate. It works for the big shows, but if you're an indie and you're trying to save the money, really try to learn the craft. Even if you don't know the craft, try to learn the optics of it yourself, and just try to reach out. There's heaps of places on the internet these days that can give you good visual effects people if you're looking for them, and then just you have to work with them, and at least you just directly dealing with that person and working one-on-one. So yeah, it's a tough one to answer.
All right. From St. Solomon. Wow, what a guess. Greetings, Sir Luke. I enjoyed the movie. Any advice for beginning filmmakers?
My advice is always the same. I've given this throughout my career. It's get on a film set. Just get on any film set, even if you're coffee running all the way to PAing to working in the art department or whatever. I mean, that's how I did it, because it's the best film school you could ever be in, because you learn on the job, and you can't really teach producing. It's not really an ineffable thing to teach. And filmmaking, you can, obviously there's schools on that, but being on set is the best, because you get to and learn on the set. I've been on huge sets where people have either sort of checked out or they don't really care even what they do, and there's been people in different departments where I'm like, do you care about this? They're like, nah, whatever. And I do. So I'm always like, hey, I was on the Pacific and I just got talking to the DP and we just became good friends, and I was always asking him lenses and that, and just talking to him, and it's just an amazing thing to be on a film set with good people.
All right. AD Ellis asks, it was great to see friend of the show Jeremy Piven being cast in your film. What does his extensive acting background offer to his character / production?
Yeah, we've interviewed Jeremy before on the show.
Oh, great.
He's great.
Yeah. Jeremy's great. I obviously am a huge fan of Entourage. I'm a huge fan of all these shows that I've cast people in, because I cast people I want to work with, Battlestar Galactica and whatnot. But yeah, Jeremy brought all that experience in. He's got so many credits. Like, it's amazing how many shows he's in, and you don't sometimes realize. You go, oh yeah, he's in Black Hawk Down. He's in Rush Hour. Even there's small roles that steal the scene. So he brought all that, and at least because we're shooting so fast, I was able to, with him, say, look, you come from TV, Entourage, let's just get your scenes, let's just roll, and we're just going to keep rolling, and we'll do a rolling reset, and we'll do them like 3 or 4 times. And then he was getting into it, and coming out with these great one-liners and riffing with the cast and that, and then that's how we kind of got through things like that. But you can't do that if you don't have that experience.
Mm-hmm. All right, Patrick Lemire, how was the food on a $7 million shoot?
Yeah, I usually joke that's probably how much they spend on Jurassic Park's catering. look, the food's good, right? Australians get stuck into it and make it happen. So, we had good food. We didn't have lobsters or steaks that I've worked on some shows that had, which I was like blown away with, but not this one. But definitely some good food. And eating out in the jungles was interesting.
I would imagine barrels of Vegemite.
Barrels of Vegemite.
ADL is 24 at a runtime of 13 minutes. That is a respectable length for an indie action film. Was there anything you shot that had been cut or anything you were unable to shoot that you wish you had got for the film?
No, I actually, part of me, like, I tried to trim it as much as I could. And I got to the point where I'm like, it probably is still a little long, but you get to that point in the story where you've woven everything together. If I cut one scene, the threads sort of start unraveling, and I'm happy with the cut that we did. But for an indie film on that budget and that scale, we actually shot a lot. And I got the visual effects done so early that suddenly there's all these scenes being already rendered and done, and I was like, whoops, we're probably a little long. But the big sign above my computer was, don't cut the dinosaurs. So no action scenes got cut. But there was little character moments here and there that I did have to nick and tuck and trim. It's the first film I've ever directed that I walked away going, I'm happy. I think I got everything, which is, if you know me, pretty rare, because usually I'm pretty hard on myself. But little nicks and tucks, but no actual scenes that just went.
Sounds like a tight script and preparation is the key here.
Yeah. Well, the script was only 90 pages, and usually you go a minute a page. And then the problem with me is I write these awesome action scenes that are very much like one-line paragraph, because I don't want the producers to think it's massive. And then I get on set and I'm like, all right, now we're going slow-mo with 100 raptors. And everyone's like, this line just says they fight dinosaurs. I'm like, yeah. Trust me, in my head. So it got blown out a bit.
All right, and last question. I will not eat the bugs. Hey, Luke, congrats on the film, cast, and soundtrack. It is a clever mix of genres. Would you ever be interested in doing something similar within a different genre in the future?
Yes. So my thing with this film, I've said for the last couple of weeks, is I think there's like a cohort of people, especially, even like me, my age, who grew up with Jurassic, and love that film. I love the first Jurassic Park. It made me want to become a director when I saw it. I was 9 years old. But now they're my age, in their 40s or whatever, and they kind of wanted that franchise to mature with them, but it hasn't, and it probably won't for certain reasons we all probably know. And this kind of fills that, just like any business, right? If there's a gap in the market, it can fill that gap, and I feel like that's what this movie is and does. My biggest franchise I love in the world is Star Wars. Right. So I would love to do what I just said about people maybe, not maturing with them, or maybe they've, gone away from that franchise. I'd love to make a sci-fi film using the same sort of system as that. Make a sci-fi film for my age group, primitive war fans, and go sort of a bit more adult and a bit more military. And that's kind of what I'm pitching at the moment around town as well.
So, do you think you're shot maybe doing look, if I ran a studio, you'd be doing Jurassic World Rebirth or whatever they call it. Like, give a pitch, like something, because that series is tired. I feel like it's like we talked about plot armor came up earlier. Like, no characters had plot armor. Like, characters died I did not expect. Like, It was brutal, and it's R-rated, and like you said, the Jurassic series hasn't aged with the audience, right? So I don't know.
Let's put it out there. I love the Jurassic films. I'm not trying to say anything against them.
I do as well. But like, you'd think there'd be like, this one is not for kids. This is R-rated.
No, although I stopped by Hollywood City Walk, AMC City Walk on the weekend, and gave out free posters as like a little unexpected thing, and there was surprisingly a lot of 10-year-olds up in the audience with their dads, and they came out afterwards and they're like, we loved it, I loved it. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, it's not for you, I'm not suggesting you go see it, but it's awesome that you have and you like it. To answer your other question, sure, I could pitch Jurassic Park. I'd rather make Primitive War 2, to be honest.
Well, congratulations on the film. It's in theaters. I'm sure, like everything in the world, it will eventually come to VOD, but support indie cinema. Mm-hmm. See it in a theater. Oh wait, another question here.
Oh yeah,
Sorry,
Jason
Alan.
Webster. I enjoyed Primitive for 5 Australian. I enjoyed Primitive War, solid and entertaining. I recommend the film to Luke Sparke, cast and crew. Thank you for making such a fun experience.
It was fun. I mean, I
Yeah.
invited a bunch of guys from Film Thread, to come out, and you got to see this. We got invited by the director, and after we're all sitting around going, that was effing awesome. Like it was just great to see that. Another one last minute coming.
Also, I would sneak kids in to see the movie, by the way.
Yes.
Zolander for 50 Swedish krona. Sounds great. My thumbs are crossed to see Primitive War somehow. Hope that will happen. Again, trailer looked great. Hope to watch it.
Well, what you can do with so little money is just it's amazing. And I mean, look, I know I saw some action and gory movies probably when I might have been too young. I saw Alien, I was like 13, 14. Okay. 14. I was probably too young. It's R-rated. I loved Alien, first Alien. But so I do think teenagers can handle it.
Yeah.
But
100%.
yeah. So look, Luke, I hope you don't stop listening to us.
No.
Don't be a stranger. Go see Primitive War in a theater and see it somehow. Luke, anything else you'd like to say here?
No, I think you said it all. I thank you for the support, and thank you for anyone listening who has seen it. And if you haven't seen it, like Chris just said, try to go see it. I know it's an amazing feedback, because not only are people saying they love it, but we're just inundated with people who just can't see it because it just didn't get out that far. And my managers have said, what would have it looked like if we could have had like a full release? I think it could have been like a fun, a fun movie for everyone to go see, and maybe would have made a dent in the box office. But it's Hollywood's hard, right? So it's we'll see what happens. I kind of think it might be the Terrifier franchise. Terrifier 1 a little bit. By the time number 2 came, there's already a launch pad, and I think Fathom wanted pre-sales in this movie because that's kind of their model. Lots of pre-sales, but it's hard when you're buying tickets to a Spider-Man or a 30th anniversary of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It's one thing because that franchise. I think a lot of people, I said, they're going to want to wait and see. They're going to wait and see what this movie's like, because it could go either way. Luckily, I was proven right, but it just kind of happened too late. So yeah, please get out and support it if you can, and hopefully the launch pad for the sequel will be a lot more buzz around it.
All right, Luke, thank you so much. We'll chat soon. Congrats again. I'm so glad the movie lived up to the hype.
Yeah, I know,
It
right?
does.
That's the biggest thing, right?
It just does.
Yes.
All right.
Thanks,
Take care.
Chris. Good to meet you, Alan.
Good to meet you too.
Thanks. See ya.
Bye.